So what about this Fletch book? Is it any good? Let me talk about Fletch a little bit. I'll tell you what I liked, what I didn't like as much, and I'll also tell you how it compares to the movie, kind of what's better, what's worse, or how the characters compare and that sort of thing. All right, so Fletch. So the thing about Fletch is this character, kind of like in the movie, is very smooth, very suave, very smart, but seemingly very casual, like a very yellow personality where he seems to not care about stuff, but then he still is detail oriented enough to kind of tie everything together and figure stuff out. So the premise is pretty interesting. Same premise that kind of happens really early in the book, so it's not much of a spoiler, but let me basically avoid spoilers in this video. Let's just leave it at that. The premise is quite interesting or quite fun and makes you wonder what's going on. And then the plot, the kind of mystery or plot that's going on is interesting enough. It's not the best part of the book, but it's interesting enough, and the pieces kind of come together, and he's able to tie everything together and kind of deal with whatever's going on. But so what did I really like about this? I liked how kind of casual and funny the main character is. He's just very witty. And witty, almost more witty in the book probably than in the movie, even though you have a famous comedian playing that character in the movie in Chevy Chase. So that's the coolest thing about it, is just the dialogue. The dialogue is really fun. What do I not like about it as much? Well, I think the mystery or the plot is a little bit whatever. It's a little bit less interesting than the other aspects. It's okay. It's kind of average. Let's put it that way. The premise is cool, but then the rest of the plot is a little all over the place or whatever. Decent, not the best, not the worst. And would I recommend this book to you? Well, I would say, yeah, it's worth a read because it's pretty short, it's pretty quick, and it's quite fun. So it's worth checking out, I think. Literally, if you get it from the library like me. Now, how does it compare to the movie? I've already talked about that a little bit. But other than the fact that the character is just a little bit different, because they're able to do more in the book. They're able to spend more time on his witticisms, on his kind of smooth, dealings with women and other people, but also he's kind of a little more detail-oriented in terms of how he ties everything together, how he deals with his obstacles and stuff like that. In other words, he's doing more careful planning and more careful arrangements in the book, kind of tie everything up in a ribbon than what they're able to do in the movie, even though they do some of that in the movie. Another difference is that some of the characters from the book do not appear in the movie. And there's one important character to the plot, seemingly, that does not appear in the movie. And that is a girl named Bobby, I believe. Because I just watched the movie, but I read the book a few weeks ago. So the name, I think it's Bobby. So it's like a 15-year-old girl who gets hooked on drugs or whatever. And so probably because it's an underage girl that then he's kind of helping nurse back to health or whatever, maybe they didn't want to put that in the movie because they thought it would look, sketchy or whatever to have this man with the younger girl. But I mean, they're not, having sex or anything, but just they might have thought it wouldn't look good or whatever. Yeah, so there's various characters and complexities to the book that don't make it in to the movie. And then I would say in the movie, they have a stronger focus on the disguises and the silly voices and stuff, but he does use disguises in the book too. But that's just like a prominent theme in the movie. So overall, my takeaway is I think the movie's fun. I think the book's fun. I think they're both worth checking out, but there are some key differences between the two. So if you haven't already, I would probably check it out. And I have to say that I had seen the movie many years ago, around the time it came out maybe. And then I was playing this board game called Dark and Stormy Night, and they mentioned a character named Fletch. And at first I thought, that's weird. It's the same name as that movie from a long time ago. And I had no idea, no suspicion that it would be the same character, the same name, the same Fletch. But lo and behold, the movie is based on a book. So there you have it. I'll see you next time.